Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, my leftover culturists, and welcome to another Leftover Culture Review Christmas special. Before we begin, let's spare a thought for all the mall Santas out there right now just dying in the heat due to that winter gear they need to wear. That's always been one thing that's really bugged me about Christmas here in Australia. It is stinking hot. And you know, all my favourite TV shows, movies, books, anything Christmas related comes from the UK or the US, and it's always about this magical white Christmas, which we just don't get down here. But you know what? We are going to have a white Christmas right here in the games room in Australia, thanks to the magic of video games. These are going to be my favourite Christmas video games and winter themed stages from video games. So stay tuned after the jump. More winter than you can shake a Christmas tree at. So, let's get the chills started with some of my favourite winter stages from video games. Kicking it off with ToeJam and Earl in Panic on Funkatron. This is a seriously underrated game in my own opinion, and we're going to check it out with some great characters obviously, and some of my favourite 2D graphics stacked with a lot of charm. Obviously, we've got a much more generic platformer compared to the original game, but there's still some really fun, gimmicky elements weaved into the game. Well worth booting up if you got a friend over. It's an awesome game any time of the year, but when Christmas comes around and you're after some ice stages that don't flat out suck, this is a great option. There's presents scattered everywhere, funky music, and just a lot of charm, all stacked in here in the one cartridge.
Pardon me. Pardon me.
Plug in a password, check out the winner stages. You guys are worth it. But if you're less interested about romping around in the snow picking up presents and more interested in shooting terrorists in the face while careening past on a snow ski, Hard Trilogy might just be the better option for your Christmas needs. I'm going to focus on the second game on the disc. I've reviewed it before in a previous Christmas special, but let me say, I still love booting it up around Christmas, especially that very first scene through the airport. It really captures that holiday season for a lot of travellers. If you want to see the full review, check out the 2013 Christmas special. So in that review, I mentioned the PlayStation version looks better. The graphics are a lot cleaner, the explosions look really crisp, but I'm still going to recommend the Sega Saturn version, just because the light gun is the best way to take out any terrorist. So, ho ho ho. So in terms of Christmas movies, Die Hard and Die Hard 2 get a lot of mentions, but my all-time favourite has to be Batman Returns. Such a fun, dark Batman movie. I love the gadgets, the bizarre characters, and even for a Batman movie, there's a lot of references to the Christmas season, like just having a massive Christmas tree. So Batman Returns for the Super Nintendo is an awesome Konami beat 'em up. I'm sure 99% of you know exactly which game I'm talking about, so I am not even going to bother. I didn't pick it up personally because the lack of multiplayer was a bit of a deal breaker for me, but where I'm going with all this is obviously I'm a big fan of the Atari Lynx, and Batman Returns, I feel like it's a bit of an overlooked classic. It's got some awesome graphics on the Atari portable powerhouse, and I've mentioned the ability to throw acid at penguins, and yeah, Batman Returns is a game that I've talked about once or twice before, links in the description, and that's kind of because it's an awesome Batman game that a lot of people would have overlooked. For anyone who comes out saying this game is too hard, seriously, it's Christmas. Use a cheat code. It doesn't matter. Batman's basically invincible anyway, so using a cheat code is like leveling the playing field. And I've always said, if you're a type of person to get really frustrated with a hard game and give up, then a cheat code is better than not experiencing the game at all. And you know, the alternative is persevering, getting really good at the game, and wasting half your life to see that very ending congratulations screen. So make the call, whatever works best for you. But yeah, have fun, dudes. It's just a game. Cheer up and play some Batman. You could get all the Batman Returns games together and have yourself like a really good Batathon. It's all good, but can I recommend The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Sega Mega Drive? This is one of my favourite Batman games ever. It is an awesome two-player game, so at least you can invite a friend over too. The game itself is super impressive, even just graphically, but as a kid I didn't even notice. It was just so much fun to actually play. We never got that far as kids. It's not an easy game. I love a good multiplayer game. That's kind of the reason I started my whole collection. To have this video game library of awesome two-player games to bust out with friends. And Christmas is a perfect time for that. I have covered The Adventures of Batman and Robin in a past episode, very briefly. It's a game I can't really comment much on. It is so worth going out, checking it out for yourself, and bringing a friend along. So I guess the theme for this episode, outside of my weird obsession with White Christmas, is basically reusing my old material. So be sure to check out last year's Christmas special for 2014, where I basically got away with making half an episode about a demo disc. It wasn't the last time I made a whole episode out of a demo disc, but the Christmas Nights demo disc is seriously worth checking out. I mean, this is just such an obvious choice for an awesome Christmas themed game, and even outside the holiday season, it's still packed to the brink with different unlockables and cool content that can only be found on the original disc. It's an easy game for me to bust out and make people feel nostalgic about, kind of like I'm cheating, but for anyone that got sick with all this condensed Christmas cheer and never made it to the second part of the review, I also had a look at the sequel, which was a Wii game, Journey into Dreams. So if you're still feeling super Christmassy, be sure to check out the Christmas playlist. It'll start off with 2014 and you can work your way back through the years on the Leftover Culture Review. I've said it before, but it's always really fun to take a look back and reflect on the past and see how far we've come year over year. This is a bit of a short Christmas special, so I do really apologise for that, but I am feeling snowed under at the moment. I'll be back first thing in the new year with a really awesome episode that I'm very proud of, something that I've spent a lot of time working on. So until that, I want to pad out the end of this review with something that I think we can all agree is freaking awesome, and that is the background for Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast fighting titles. Obviously, there's a lot of love hidden away in the backgrounds of fighting games. I'm focusing on the winter themed ones, but feel free to mention a few of your favourites below, because I too love playing a good fighting game, and I'd be very keen to check out some of your favourites. A massive shout out to Joseph for hooking me up with some awesome Saturn and Mega Drive games just in time for Christmas. A lot of the Saturn games you'll be seeing now have in fact come from Joseph. I just wanted to say on the audio track, thanks for all the support, Joe. And then follow it up with a thanks to everyone for another awesome year on the Leftover Culture Review. Have a safe Christmas. I kind of need you guys back next year. I guess without you, there wouldn't be too much of a show left. So really, honestly, thanks for the support. I'm really looking forward to seeing you first thing again next year. So, cheers.
Street Fighter 3. Round 1. Fight!
Capcom versus Keep Rockin', baby.
Give a star of happiness to the heart of everyone. Merry Christmas.